What's the most spiteful thing you've ever done? When me and my family moved to Maine, I thought my biggest problem would be the lack of public transportation. Turns out it was a girl called Ashley, because back then I was extremely anxious, and the last thing I wanted was to sit by myself during lunch. So on my first day at my new school, I sat down with the first group of girls I saw and hoped they would accept me. And they did, well, kinda. Finally, an Asian who speaks actual English was the first thing Ashley said when I introduced myself. I felt a heat rise in my cheeks as I tried to laugh it off. And when I looked around, the other girls weren't defending me, but they also weren't joining in, which was good enough for me. So for the next few months, Ashley's comments became part of my daily routine. She'd squint at me and ask if I could see properly. Whenever we saw a dog, she'd ask if my stomach was rumbling. And every time, the entire group would go silent. That's when I knew they were scared of her. Scared of being that one student in school with no friends. And because I knew nothing was going to change, I tried to empathize with her. Constantly reminded myself that she'd grow out of it. And one day she did. We were all sitting in the lunch canteen when Ashley started tweeting out. Guys, I slid into the cutest guy's DMs and I think he really likes me. Without asking, she whipped out her iPhone and showed us his profile picture. That's when it all made sense. It was a Chinese boy. I stared at her in disbelief. The entire table was silent. That's when she turned to me with wide eyes. Ching chong. She then coughed. Terry, I meant Terry. I need your help. His parents are traditional and I don't want to mess this up. The other girls watched this interaction like it was a nature documentary, and maybe I'm too nice, or maybe I just wanted to believe people could change. But either way, I spent the next few weeks teaching her everything. How to use chopsticks properly, basic Mandarin phrases, what gifts to bring when meeting parents. And one day, I said something that changed things forever. BTW, his parents will probably want him to date someone Chinese, but if you show respect and make an effort with the culture— What? She interrupted. That's not fair. Just because I'm born white, I have to suffer more? I pinched the bridge of my nose and nodded slowly, wondering when the F or maturing stage would come. But something shifted after that. She went from interested to obsessed. She bought silk chupaos online and started wearing them to school. She replaced her Starbucks with bubble tea. And every day she'd stare at me with eyes filled with envy. Say things like, "You're so lucky to be born that way," or "I have to work so hard for what just comes naturally to you." The jealousy in her voice made my skin crawl. I thought things would get better when Kevin became her boyfriend, but instead they got worse. Whenever he was around, she would do everything she could to put me down. She'd correct my chopstick holding in front of everyone. Other times it wasn't even about my race. She would simply joke about how fat I was. I'm literally size 0 LOL. The worst part was how she'd flip back to being my best friend the second Kevin left, like nothing had ever happened. I tried talking to the other girls about it. They all did that thing where they looked at each other but nobody wanted to speak first. Finally, Emma said, "Maybe she's just excited about learning," but her voice was totally flat. Luckily, everything exploded at Madison's birthday party. Ashley brought Kevin and spent the entire night putting on a performance. She made a big show of teaching everyone mahjong, constantly correcting me even though I'd been playing since I was 5. In authentic Chinese households, we don't play with those Americanized rules, she announced. "Right, babe?" Kevin looked uncomfortable but nodded. Ashley continued, "You know what's so funny?" she said, turning to Kevin with his fake sweet voice. "Cherry here is supposed to be Chinese, but she's basically just a Twinkie. Yellow on the outside, white on the inside." I finally snapped. "You know what's funny, Ashley?" My voice was shaking, but I didn't care. "3 weeks ago, you were asking if my family ate dogs." The entire party went silent. Someone turned the music down. "And what was that cute nickname you had for me?" I paused. "Oh yeah, Ching Chong." Kevin's face contorted like he had bitten into a lemon. No, don't listen to her," she stammered. But it was too late. The entire friend group was now nodding their heads. Kevin was already packing up his stuff and getting ready to leave, cursing her under his breath. 2 days later, my parents got a call. It wasn't Ashley. It was immigration services. They called about an anonymous tip regarding our visa status. Full story on channel. Link below.